We have had the drive from hell. My back is absolutely ruined. We are saving the planet one Zappi at a time. So it is past 9 o'clock. What time did we leave my house this morning, Nathan? 6:30. And we're still sitting here in traffic. It's a joke, man. It's like 38 miles and we've been driving for 2.5 hours and my back is absolutely ruined. Has anyone got any advice for when you're driving long journeys? I get a really bad lower back. Maybe it's because I'm heavy chested, I'm not sure. But if anyone's got any advice, that'd be great. But we've got quite an interesting job today. If we ever get there, we've got a really interesting job. Installing Zappi and an Eddi, which is cool. We very rarely get to do both in a house, but yeah, we're installing a Zappi and an Eddi. So basically completely get the most out of his solar system. Solar system? Sounds like a galaxy type thing arrangement. I'm not sure what size setup he's got or whatever, but we're gonna have a little look. It should increase his efficiency. For now, I just want to get there. And do you know what else is really annoying? Apple CarPlay doesn't work and the radio doesn't turn off BBC Radio 4. It's been broken for ages, so I have to do Google Maps like this and I keep missing turn-ins because I have to do that. Nathan didn't believe me and now he's actually experienced it. Whatever I set the radio to, it just goes back to BBC Radio 4. I don't know. There's a 45-year-old that's living inside my radio controlling it. I'm actually getting quite into it now, if I'm being honest. I quite like BBC Radio 4 because I really liked having Apple CarPlay. Let us know in the comments below. We have had, quite frankly, the drive from hell. Took us almost 3 hours to get, what was it, 38 miles? Pretty horrendous. My skinny legs are out. Well, supposedly skinny legs. My girlfriend says I have skinny legs. I actually think they're quite impressive. They're just efficient. The sun is shining, the sky is blue. Clean energy is about to be improved by us. We are saving the planet one Zappi at a time. So, let me show you through the job. We are full on My Energy fanboys today. As you can tell, I've lost my voice. We've got an Eddi, which we're installing, and we've got a Zappi, which we're installing. So it's gonna be really cool. And that is being installed to make the most of the solar, which is up on the roof. Now, please, you've got to show this cable run. You just got to see that. I'm sorry. I hate slagging off other people's work because you don't know the circumstance. I imagine there was scaffold in the way. I imagine there was issues, but oh my gosh. What were you drinking? And can you get me some? I imagine, I have a picture of these like solar sparkies drinking Kestrel at 4 in the morning, running that cable in. And I love the very accessible DC isolator. But anyway, that's enough slagging off other people's work. I don't like doing it. I love it. I'm gonna do a little survey of the solar setup that they've got. Just a very rough checking it. It's all right. I've got my thermal imaging camera, which I'm quite looking forward to using. Thanks, Klein. And then we've got this EV Ultra cable. We've talked about it before, and we'll talk about it again. It's a cable made by Doncaster Cable. I think they've actually made a tough sheath version of this as well. This is the armoured cable version. It is a 3-core 6mm with a Cat5 cable inside of it. So we'll use the Cat5 for all the CTs and the connections to the solar and to the grid, and obviously the 3-core to power it. So we're going to clip that round, stick the charger on there. Obviously it's a bit of a pain because he's got street parking. He's not got off-street parking, but conveniently he's got this gutter right here which the Zappi cable should fit in, so he's going to core a hole there, and the plan is he's going to run the cable inside that gutter round and plug his car into that. I shouldn't slap the van, sorry John. Yeah, that's the plan. And I'm really hoping if we finish soon enough, it's not part of our job for the day. I've got to neaten that cable up because it's killing me. It's terrible. I'll show you the consumer unit. So we've got a beautiful solar edge inverter here, and then we've got this here, DB2, which is where we'll be coming off. So we've got the other end of the EV Ultra cable just here. So we'll terminate that into the board there, just sort of best we can with the space we've got. Bought a Wirex breaker with me, so we'll terminate into there. We should hopefully be able to leave his house power on unaffected because he's working from home. He's actually a viewer, which is awesome because it means Pringles, Coke and coffee. So we do love working for our viewers. It's quite a neat job inside of here. I mean, it's no overall renewables, but it's a nice neat job. Just checking, you've got the little MC4 plugs here connected up. It's all been done. fairly well. We're going to set up the My Energy app so that he can monitor it all. And it's pretty cool because what it will enable him to do is prioritise different power usage, so he can, before he sends the electricity back to the grid, he'll be able to charge his car. Once his car's charged, heat up his hot water tank up in the loft. Let's start with the Zappi outside. Get all of that side of it done while the weather's nice as well, before it gets mega, mega hot. And then we'll move in, do the consumer unit, and then go up into the loft and do that last. That is perfectly convenient. That coffee looks pretty legit. I accept that was a bit of a backwards way of mounting a Zappi, but I couldn't find my little Milwaukee pen, so needs must, you know. Oh, there's a little bumblebee. No, he looks busy. I don't want to touch him. He's on a job, you can see. Here we have a chinchilla. They're usually from the Amazon region, but this one's obviously found himself in London. I reckon he came over on a suitcase or something. But hey, that way. What you don't want to do is you don't want to let them crawl into your ear, because otherwise you're just going to have this sudden urge all the time to seek wood and moisture. Deadly mix, dead by woodlouse. My back is fully spasming. I don't know if any of our viewers are chiropractors and want to sort us out. Ouch! Oh, I like that. That's the first time using one of them storm glands. Just because I didn't have a 25 normal one in the van, so I'm using the storm gland. That was actually ridiculously easy. There's no boot, there's no shroud. Oh, sorry, what do you want to hear about? My back or the storm gland? Okay, we'll talk about the storm gland. I'll show you one up close. So here is your traditional SWA gland, CW outside one obviously, with your boot or shroud and your banjo. Here is the storm gland, made by SWA, so it's got the stuffing gland on the back. It's the same principle, just like a little ring and things on there. But I have to say, that was incredibly quick, terminating that just then. I mean, there's nothing really complicated, is there, about doing an SWA cable, but that was really quick. And they also come with these little piranha nuts, which is pretty cool. So you can earth that instead of a banjo. I always like to use those instead. I'm not going to earth this end at the Zappi, I'm going to earth the other end. Feeling about 70. Not feeling fresh today. I think it's because I forgot to take my multivitamin. I think that's what it is, Nathan. I usually have my Peppa Pig Well-Man pill in the morning, and then I'm fine, but I haven't today. Yeah, I'm going to get my big boy pants on and get this job done and suck it up. So basically, I've got my EV Ultra cable terminated. I've got the cores going in there, ready to be tested. And then I've got the other cores there for the Cat 5 going in. So that's pretty cool. I will just hook this back on, just in case it rains. I find it very unlikely that it's going to rain today, but I just like to close the lid so I don't end up drowning it. Can you pass my screwdriver, please? Which one? Pass it across, big one. Cheers. You guys terminated. Yeah. I don't want to screw into their parquet because that floor is lovely, so I'm going to get my little stool to sit down so I don't get bad back. Oh, nice. I'm interested to see what these MC4 crimp connectors look like under load, because obviously DC, it won't trip. There's no string fuses or anything. This is, there's only 2 strings. In fact, I think it might only be, there's only 1 string. There we go. Have a little look at that, Nathan. You can see all the heat signatures of everything, where the heat's coming out. These look okay. They don't look excessively hot. That looks very hot. Wow. Oh, that looks roasting hot. Oh wait, it's my hand. Have a look at the main head. Any signs of overheating or anything?
It's tricky as well because I'm not super experienced thermal imager. You have to learn to tell the difference between emissivity of different objects and actual thermal signatures. I'm kind of getting the hang of it. I think this is our tool of the day. Yeah, especially for solar, where you can have bad connections are so catastrophic. Bad connections on AC are terrible, but bad connections on DC are just absolutely catastrophic. So it's really, really important that it's right. I'm trying to get into the habit of just doing a quick just doing a quick thermal imaging survey before I start things, and it's super cheap pocket thermal imager. I say super cheap for what it is, it's super cheap, but we'll leave the link for that in the description below. Tool of the day. Cool. Let the record show at 11:45 AM on the 3rd of June. These kick Pringles out of the water every day of the week. Amazing. They're a taste sensation is what they are. Where are we going to come out for the cables? Maybe I should do the CT cables out of the top. Where are the CT cables going to, Nathan? I'm going to call the health barn and get an appointment booked in for tomorrow. Thanks, bye. I'm just going to come straight out of there into my breaker, CT connections. I'd say we are 60% there in the job. So, I am in the process of wiring up the Zappi via this EV Ultra cable. So, as usual, what we've had to do is connect it up into a junction box. I'm going to get some cable ties in there and make that look the absolute part. We've got our grid CT here going along, that'll be dressed in. And then we've got our CT here on the solar cable being dressed in. Very typical solar install consumer unit, i.e. an absolute state, but we're just going to joint the cable here onto some 4mm MYJ. As it's only a 32 amp breaker, that is all it needs to be rated at. I think this also is tool of the day. The simple things, honestly. Johnny No Neck bought this for me. When I say bought it for me, he's probably been sitting in his kitchen for 30 years. Johnny No Neck gave this to me, and it's great. It just saves you kneeling. It's just a handy little fold-up stool. When I used a Fluke tester, that was great because I used to use that. That was like the perfect stool height. But now we're on Referral, the box doesn't quite cut it. So I have to go to alternate sources because today, spasming, I've got such a bad back. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm going to try and get to the chiropractor ASAP. I will call out Chris Martin. Chris Martin, your latest Coldplay song is terrible. I can't believe you've sold yourself from the days of Parachutes and what's the other wicked one? Viva La Vida, Rush of Blood to the Head. Like, so many amazing albums you've made, and then you go and make a song like that. I'm sorry, I hate it. You've literally just sold yourself out to a bunch of 13-year-old TikTok users, and I'm not okay with it. To be perfectly honest, you like the stupid dance to the chorus, it's soulless. Absolutely soulless, and I'm just disappointed. Maybe this is the pain of the bad back talking. Maybe this is just the real me, who knows? But either way, Chris Martin, if you're watching this, I'm calling you out. I know he watches it, yeah. We've got a lot of high-profile clients that watch this. Chris, I would love to call you out and say, look, I want to fight you over this, but I couldn't. I could never hurt you because I love you. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed is what I am. They're going to go on the wall of shame along with Weira for that ridiculous screwdriver.
You need me to start off the screw for you. You are literally the screwdriver. That is your job.
And now Chris Martin for that ridiculous song that is stuck in my head and it's so rubbish. What else is on the wall of shame that I hate? I don't know. What else have I called out in the videos? Domestic work? No, I don't. Today I don't mind domestic work. Oh, people that use bootlace ferrules on Twin and Earth. Yeah, they are on the wall of shame. Other road users. I'm the only acceptable road user. Everyone else is using the road wrong. They're all on the wall of shame. No. For now, it's just Weira for that ridiculous screwdriver. I'm still not over it. I love Weira 99% of the time. Just that screwdriver, I think they were drinking. I think it's an April Fool's. We're done. I need to do some labelling and some testing. It really pains me when you see boards like this. You think, it's new, the customer's obviously paid top money for it. Like, how much effort does it really take just to do a consumer unit neat? Like, why wouldn't you just cut that zip tie off and, you know, just like make stuff look not absolutely terrible, but our stuff looks good. I'm tempted to go through some of their bits and just re-terminate it. But it's like, how far do you go? Like that cable that's just been thrown up the walls. What's the matter with the solar industry? But anyway, our stuff is cool. We've got the EV Ultra cable in. I want to put a couple of cleats on it. See if I can get a fixing in that wall. It goes in there, comes out in MYJ to the consumer unit. The CTs go off, up to the grid, and up to that. I'm going to have to earth the cable from the other end as well, by the way. Guys, the EV Ultra cable, annoyingly, I haven't got the whisker. You know, the adapter that you need to earth the armouring inside the whisker. So I'm going to have to do it on the other end with a piranha nut. It's going to be a bit of a faff. But yeah, we'll sort it. So what you have to do is you have to connect up these CTs or current transformers or transducers to the Zappi. And what that will do is it will convert the signal of what's travelling down there so that you can actually monitor what electricity is being used. So we want to monitor what's coming in from the grid, and we want to monitor what's coming in off of the solar. So what we will do is we connect them up. We're hardwiring them this time because the EV Ultra cable's been run for us. You can also use the Harvey, which is a product that My Energy make, which will wirelessly send that signal back, harvesting its own energy to send that signal. But we are hardwiring it. So we'll show you how we program that, and it's really cool. And then we're going to set up the app as well. First of all, get this all labelled up, get it tested, buttoned up. Then we're going to go do that Eddi. What I'm going to do is a quick test. So I'm going to do it all from the other end, just because it's easier to unwire this end than it is that end. So I'm going to just drop this out, get myself an R1 plus R2, get my ZE, my PEFC, etc. Once I've got all of those readings, I'm then going to label up, button up this area, get it all hoovered and tidy, and then I'm going to move on upstairs. I like to finish before I move on if I can. I hate starting a ton of jobs. I always tend to do it, as Johnny will know. I sometimes can start 10 jobs at once, but in this situation, I really want to get done and beat the traffic. I don't want to sit there for 3 hours on the way home today if I can help it. So I'm going to get my skinny legs out, test it. Right, wire it back in, switch it on, see if it goes kaboom boom. I need to get the hub plugged in, I need to get some testing done, and I want to get the Eddi on. So we'll get to that at the end of the video. I am too big for this. Get that out. Oh, bad. Right, let's see what we're working with. So, the Eddi, wicked little product. Actually super easy and straightforward. So, this is the Eddi we're installing. It's a wicked little device made by My Energy. What it's going to do is it's going to work, I'm going to program it to work with the Nest and all the smart heating controls that they've got. So the immersion heaters really have died a death, haven't they? Because if you want to heat up your boiler in most modern houses, unless you've got a heat pump or something, generally just use your boiler to heat up the water. Like, you'll have a little valve in there. Oh my goodness. If you think you've got it bad as a Sparky, a plumber would have no chance of getting to that. I mean, even that, really, that's not great, is it? That's a connector block for some of the heating. Don't look. I think it's the answer to that. I'm here to do the Eddi. I'm not here to look at their electrics for the rest of the house. What it's going to do is going to work with the immersion heater. And whenever we've got excess solar, this is going to know when we have excess solar, and it's going to send a signal basically to start heating up the immersion heater. So it's just a smart switch is all it is. So this is going to wire in this side, and then I'm going to put the supply out of there into this side, and it's going to be as simple as that. It's just going to sit there on the wall and do that for us. It is going to work with the Nest, because all the Nest is doing is it's listening to the thermostat on the cylinder, and it will know when it's calling for heat. So when it calls for heat, it will switch a little relay in there to tell the boiler to start up and give it more hot water. However, if it's already hot from the excess solar heating it up, then it won't need to come on as much, therefore saving them energy. So it basically uses your tank as a thermal battery. It will store any excess energy, and it will work charging the car. So it will charge the car, then charge this. Basically just a much more efficient way of heating things. So it's clever. I'm a big fan, big old fan of it. I'll get everything out. I'm going to jump back in here when I'm pairing it. We'll link this link into the Zappi, and then we'll show the app. So, just plug the hub into their network switch. I'm just going to put it into pairing mode and pair it up with the Zappi. And then once the Zappi is paired in pairing mode, we'll connect it to the Eddi. So I'm putting this into pairing mode, linked devices, pairing mode. Now, for 120 seconds, we'll be searching for a master. So we'll go back over to the Zappi, find it on there, and select it. 2 minutes in such a big house. Okay, great. So they're all paired up. So now it's just a case of pairing it up to the customer's app. So I'm going to do that now. So there you go. So you can see the setup there. The customer's got 3 kilowatts being generated by their solar panels, which is absolutely brilliant for half-3 for the size array and where it's facing and the degree tilt that he's got. You've got 2.4 kilowatts being diverted to the Eddi at the minute, so it's sending nothing back to the grid. So the home is using some, the Eddi is heating up the hot water, acting as a thermal battery, and if the car was plugged in as in Eco Plus mode, then it would be trickle charging the car as well. So that's the setup when you've got all of them. If you had a battery, that would be another string. If you had other source of renewables, there'd all be other strings. So it's a really cool app, and often customers find when they've got that, they use that over their Solar Edge or Viridian or whatever other apps they end up using. So me and my efficient legs are finished for the day. We have smashed it. We've got the car charger connected, the Eddi connected, got it all linked up with solar. It's working awesome, it's working beautifully as you've seen on the app. I am fully crippled, so I'm gonna go and get a massage and get some stuff clicked because I've pulled the muscle quite badly in my back. I didn't have a chance to neaten up that cable, and to be honest I didn't have the ladders with me, and also I think with the state I'm in it's not a good idea to be going up a ladder. But hey, this is it, this is Artisan. You see it as it is. Realistically, you're not always in perfect health. Some days you're up and down, and it just so happens that the day Nathan's came to video me today, this is the way we are, and we get funny looks from people, so we're gonna call it there. I've got nothing to say. Oh, there's a massive big plastic tub of AdBlue there. So glad we've got that. That's saving the planet. I want to issue a formal apology for moaning all day about my back and my health. I'm so sorry. I wish I could have been more educational today. Yeah, I'm sorry for moaning about my back. Right, I'm signing out. I want to have radio silence. I love you all, and I hope you've benefited somehow. For real now, radio silence.